So, hello everybody. Thank you for the warm and beautiful words. Nice introduction, thank you very much. Thank you to you. It's a pleasure for me to get this great opportunity to speak to you. And my topic today is plastic of the future. My name is Hermann Diem, pretty easy to keep in mind. Hermann, the German. Sorry about that, I'm not able to speak Turkish language. I have a lot of Turkish friends in Germany, but I know only the dirty words, so sorry about that. So how does it work? Table of the content, Clariant at a glance. Let me introduce Clariant, what we are doing, where we are. What is going on in the plastic world, some words from my point of view. After that I will jump to Clariant's focus on sustainability. And last but not least, I would like to present a highly effective and sustainable wax. This is made from rice. So let's start. Clariant at a glance. Clariant is a Swiss-based company, a global leading company in specialty chemicals with 4 business areas represented in 52 countries and has approximately 156 companies, employees. Last year close to 20,000. It's always a little bit moving. And Clariant is divided into 4 business units: care chemicals, catalysts, natural resources, and plastic and coatings. Plastic and coatings, I am belonging to this business unit. This business unit is divided in bio master batch, bio pigments, everything which has to do with colorants, and the last one is bio additives. Bio additives has 3 business lines. One business line is advanced surface solutions, formerly waxes, lubricants, which are more or less the pepper and the salt in a polymer. You have to keep in mind you never get a pure polymer. If we are talking about polyethylene or polypropylene, it's always a compound because there is a lot of additives inside, and in the most cases we are using compounds, not only pure materials. Please keep this in mind. Flame retardants, here the runner is halogen-free flame retardants used in engineering plastics like polyesters and polyamides. And the last one, performance additives, is dealing with light stabilizers, antioxidants, anti-statics, and nucleating agents and so on. The big market for us is still Europe, followed by APAC, this means mainly China, and also NORAM, LATAM, which are smaller markets for us. The biggest business line is here advanced surface solutions, waxes, followed by flame retardants and performance additives. What is going on in the plastic world? Last year was a pretty silent, unspectacular year in the plastic industry. This year was a great year, I think, for everybody. Business was running quite well all over the world. Also Italian, which have in general not so much money, bought a lot of plastic processing machineries in the first half of this year. And this is already a good indication. When a country is buying so much or investigating so much in machineries, there are orders behind. And especially in the plastic industry, everybody is looking for more capacity, is growing, and we are still on a growing track. Also, the plastic industry itself is one of the biggest industries, employers all over the world. But on the other side, the plastic industry has, in my eyes, a really bad lobbyism. When you have a look to Germany, for example, or general to Europe, the automotive industry is here dominating, and also the automotive industry has a strong lobbying everywhere in the EU Parliament, but plastic doesn't have this, and this is a mess in my eyes. At the moment, everybody is talking about pollution, ocean pollution. Everybody is talking about recycling. Everybody is talking about circular economy. And when you have a look on the right side of this sheet, you see the circular economy, and there is a small part at the end, recycling residual waste. And this residual waste should go to zero. This means every raw material should be recycled. This is nothing new, but in the past it was not so standing in the focus because raw material is pretty cheap, and especially the Europeans sold the whole waste to Asia, especially China, Indonesia. China stopped this import, and nowadays we have to think about what should we do with this waste. But it's not waste. Also on the other side, the design of a polymer, which is standing at the beginning of this circle, is pretty important. When you go 20 years back, and I started my career in the automotive industry at BMW, I was a young engineer and I was standing on the production belt, and a new car was taken out of this processing line and was rebuilt. So every part of this car were taken out, separated in single streams in order to learn how we have to construct a car to make it more recyclable. And that is the same thing what's going on in the chemistry at the moment. A lot of companies, big companies, bought recycling companies in order to learn how we have to create a polymer to make it more recyclable. So design is pretty important. Also, regularities, laws are pretty important. Maybe you get this information from the press. It's a really fresh decision made by the European Parliament. By 2021, we will get rid of single-use plastics. What does it mean? So dishes or coffee to go, for example, these cups, or these straws, these drinking helms, will be forbidden. Makes sense? Or can we find a better solution? I do not know. Also, the public debate, for example, we ingest more than 10,000 pieces of microplastic. Microplastic, microfibers is also a pretty big topic in the world. Everywhere in the press or in the television we see these contaminated animals in the ocean swimming with foils and so on, but this was already in the ocean 10 years ago, but nobody took care about this. The main issue in the ocean is the microplastic and the microfibers, in my eyes. Also, there are some statistics. By 2050, there will be more plastics in the seas than fish. So, when I'm a little bit sarcastic, what does it mean? Do we have no fish in the ocean? Why we get every fish out of the ocean? Or put we so much plastic inside the ocean? And this is really a topic which we are faced. Everybody of us are faced with this. And also packaging. Packaging is a really main topic in recycling because a lot of plastics are going into the plastic sectors. I have here some figures. I catch these figures from the last EMI in Barcelona, and I was really a little bit surprised because 10 rivers are responsible for the waste in the oceans. And I have listed this only 5 rivers which are responsible for the ocean pollution. And from the European view, it's pretty nice because all these rivers are in Asia or in Africa. But, and there is a big but, the most waste is also coming from Europe. And for example, the biggest river, it's the Yangtze River in China. Maybe you know this river, it's a really big river. Everything is swimming down in this river. And when you calculate this figure down, this means 4,000 tons per day of plastic waste are swimming down this river. 4,000 tons per day. Chinese are clever. Chinese are not stupid. Chinese are really fast. And when they catch this figure, that is the best opportunity to build a recycling plant directly on this river. You have a big source, a cheap source, and also the material is cleaned because it's swimming in the water. You have only to dry it. So a big opportunity. Also, circular economy. I have here created a chart. And starting from the left side, waste, collecting, sorting, separation, grinding, washing, regranulate, recompound, and then you can create a new article in the best way. You do it an up recycling, down recycling is not so popular at the moment, but better than nothing, that's true. And when you have a look on these companies, Borealis, for example, bought in the past a recycling company. Also, Lyondell bought 2 companies in the recycling sector in order to learn how we have to create a polymer to make it more recyclable. This is a big topic. Also, some brand owners like Procter & Gamble, Unilever, IKEA, and Henkel are here drivers in this market. IKEA, for example, would like to use a really huge amount of recycled material for their furnitures and so on. But also, I do not know if you know this company, it's a grocery chain, Lidl, for example, similar to Aldi. It's a big supermarket in Europe. And this supermarket bought also a big recycling company. It's under the big 5 recycling companies in Germany. It's called Tönsmeier. And they created a company to get the packaging back from the supermarket and to put it into a circular economy cycle to recycle it themselves. Bottles, for example, in PET, here the recycling works, in my eyes, pretty well. PET is not so difficult to recycle. There is also a decision made by the European Parliament by 2025, 90% of recycling rate, so this means your bottles are standing in front of you. These are PET-Gs, glycol-based polyesters. 90% recycled rate. This means a good rate in my eyes, and it's a good thing. The only problem is there is a polyolefin cap. I guess it's a mixture of PP and PE, I'm not sure. It's a little bit different. This is a little bit disturbing, this stream. And also, nobody knows what's going on with China. China is here a pretty big consumer of plastic materials, also of recycled materials. And it's not, a couple of months ago, China stopped these imports of recycling materials, and now we are faced with this problem. What should we do with this material? Clariant's focus on sustainability. Also, Clariant is thinking about how can we support this idea, how can we make business, of course, that's clear. And sustainability is a key topic in the plastic industry, there is no question. We get a lot of customer feedbacks showing a strong demand for renewable raw materials that come with leading performance levels, also clear. Also, using natural resources more respectfully and sustainably in one of the worlds is a mega trend, also clear. The plastic industry plays here a crucial role because plastic has always this bad image. It's plastic. It's not a high quality material. We in the auditorium, we know this. Plastic is really a high level material. But the popular meaning outside, plastic is cheap, it's waste. I'm always confronted in my friendship, and we have a lot of discussions. Plastic has really, in my eyes, a bad image, and this image has to be improved. Also, companies increasingly adopt bioadditives, also biopolymers. We have seen this in the Ravago speech, bio-based polyamides. When we go a little bit into detail, The molecules are more or less the same. There is no big difference. But these molecules have a green touch. And when you bring a material on the table which is green, sustainable, you have always open doors. The first impression which I get when I hear this is a green product, my first impression is always, oh, it's green, this means higher costs, low quality, or the performance is not so good. And when we can get rid of this thinking, I think we have a great chance to introduce here new materials, and this is also the topic for today, plastic in futures. A mega trend is sustainability, and we here are faced with a lot of challenges. For example, global warming, carbon emission control. Everybody is talking about to save or to reduce the CO2 output. But when you have a look on the figures, we're increasing the CO2 level step by step by step. It's always higher, never going down. And this is also a mess. Sustainable energy, for example. You know, Germany has decided after the Fukushima accident to get rid of nuclear energy and also to step out of brown coal by 2030. This means in 10 years. And every energy should be supplied by renewable resources. At the moment, in my eyes, it's pretty difficult because the most solar panels are in Germany, but Germany has no sun. Windcraft is also a good opportunity, but nobody wants to have such a windmill in the neighborhood. And all these questions are really not solved. Also, e-mobility, for example, is a big topic everywhere. We would like to bring the electricity on the street, but we have no infrastructure. One friend in my group told me or asked the questions, why we are not heating with electricity, because here the infrastructure is here. And a further guy said, it's too expensive. No, it's much more cheaper to use electricity for heating instead of e-mobility, because the accumulators are still behind. And I was, a couple of weeks ago, I was in a conference talking about accumulators, and these accumulators, which are really have a good capacity, are still in the test scale, and these accumulators will be on the market, let me say, in 8 or 10 years, so it's really a long time. And energy is pretty important. When you have no energy, you can do nothing. Especially Germany has no raw materials, no crude oil, nothing. We have only the know-how, and when we have energy and know-how, we can do something, like Alpha Edison. Environmental protection, also pretty important, and health and safety, working conditions across activities along the value chain. These are the challenges, and these challenges can be transferred into the needs. Clariant did this, I will not bother you with this, but one result of this was we created a label, a quality label. It's called an Ecotane label. That's the flagship label for sustainability. We have here in total 36 different criteria. And when these criteria are fulfilled, for example, this product is more sustainable compared to other one on the market, or needs less energy, or lower amount of water, or the footprint is better, then a product will get this Ecotane label. Ecotane products actively support the sustainability efforts of our customers without compromising on performance. So performance is standing in front, and when all these other criteria are fulfilled, we will give this quality label to a product. And we have also some sustainability targets. This means by 2025, in 5 years, we will 75% will have this Ecotane label, for example, 170 approximately are having this label already. And this is an indication, is this product sustainable or not? Because at the moment, there are no clear guidance on the market. What is sustainable? Is this sustainable or is that sustainable? It's really a little bit swimming in my eyes. It's not clarified at the moment. Ecotane label as a clear sign for identification, sustainability, excellence product. This leads in credible and reliable systems. So Clariant as a reliable and sustainable partner in this case. Also continuous improvement, because it's a learning curve. It's never completed. It's always moving. And also the transparency, this means communication. Okay, I have to go a little bit quickly. Transparency and the holistic and life cycle view. Highly efficient lubricants. We have a new product in the portfolio. It's based on rice bran wax. Rice is everywhere, but we are not using the corn itself. We are using the middle layer between the hull and the corn. And this is a solution, a non-food competing solution. For example, when you are using corn or starch or sugarcane, you're coming pretty quickly into the discussion tank or dish. And here it's still an agriculture waste, more or less. And from this waste, we are producing a wax. Here you see the corn on the left side. The corn is in the middle, and this brown layer, this small layer, is the bran. And from this bran, we create a crude oil. Approximately 20% of this rice bran are oil, and from this 20% of oil, we create a rice bran wax. And this wax is pretty white and can be used as lubricant, for example, in engineering resins like polyamides, polyesters, and so on. And it's a high-performing multifunctional lubricant, smooth manufacturing, low volatility, no migration, and it's sustainable, and it's a non-food competing material. Here is a short summary. It's working as an internal lubricant as well as an external lubricant, and also as a dispersing agent, especially for the master batch industry. So I guess I'm just in time. Thank you very much.